Hey guys, how's it going? Brad with Fractal Designs here. We're doing an FAQ video. Today we're going to be covering on how to use Ligna oil. Ligna oil is a hard wax finish. Really easy to use. I'll be using the Ligna Duo today, but this pretty much applies for all of their products. So essentially this is a hard wax oil here, and then you have the catalyst with it. So you can use any Ligna product with or without the catalyst. Using the catalyst makes it cure faster. So that's why I use it. This is a 5% catalyst in this finish. So we'll get to that when we mix it up. I'm gonna be wearing gloves for this. You don't have to wear gloves, especially if you don't get it on your fingers. I just wear gloves so that I don't have to run up front and wash my hands afterwards. So that's just me. Okay, now that I got everything, I hope, we're just gonna get on with it. So pretty easy. We're gonna mix this up. Give it a good stir. I like to shake it a little bit beforehand. And we're just gonna pop this bad boy open. So nice thing about Ligna oil is that you can buy all the catalysts separate. So if you buy like one of their stains, or if you buy the Easy Solo Natural, something like that, you can buy the catalyst separately. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to use it, which is pretty nice. Big question I get asked, what's the difference between the Pronto and the Easy Solo? So the Pronto has less solids in it, so it's not going to get quite as hard as the Easy Solo, but since it's more liquidy, it is a lot more easier to use. So if you're staining, let's say, a chair or something like that, you're probably going to want to use the Pronto. It's a little more liquidy, it's a lot easier to use and work around. Now if you're doing like let's say a tabletop, I would probably opt for the either the Duo or the Easy Solo at that point, but that's completely user preference. So I got these little 60 milliliter mixing cups here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up here, I'm going to set this here, and I am going to pour 60 milliliters in. I find that's a really good amount for small desks and coffee tables. So there we are, 60 mil, and I'm just going to grab a paper towel, wipe it off. Great. So now that I got that, throw that on the floor for now. If you're ever using a finish, good practice is to always put whatever you get any finish onto into like a non-flammable container. So I just threw it on the concrete floor for now. I'll clean it up after. Some of these finishes, most of the ones that I've ever used, if you read the cans, they actually say they can spontaneously combust. So it's best to keep them somewhere where if they do combust, it's not gonna burn down your building. So another awesome thing with the Duo product here, so I'm just gonna open this up, but it comes with these little pipettes, which allow you to get the hardener out really easily. I didn't close this one very well last time. Another tip is to make sure you really clean your hardener can. That goes for any finish, because they do get very, very hard and hard to open. So I've used this one quite a bit, so because it goes such a long way. So there we are, we got our hardener in here. So I got 60 milliliters, 5% of that is 3 milliliters. So little handy dandy 3 milliliter pipette here. I'm just gonna drop this in. I'm just gonna suck up 3 mils. And the Duo kit comes with these pipettes, which is really nice. I use it so often that I actually just picked up I think it was a 200 pack off of Amazon for, I think, I want to say like $10. And then that way I can use it a bunch. So there's 2 there, drop that right in. Just need 1 more. There we go. Nice and easy. Awesome. I'll just set that over here. Okay, perfect. We're going to give that a little stir. Probably should have brought a smaller popsicle stick. That's okay. Mix it up good. You just want the catalyst to touch the majority of the finish so it does what it's supposed to. Now, how you apply this is really going to come down to user preference. I like to massage my oils into the wood. I find that it gets into the pores a little better and I get a better finish. You can spread it like you see a lot of people do some other finishes on the market. That's definitely an option if you want to use a spreader. You can pour it and spread. I like to use these non-abrasive pads, and then I have this little handheld thing, or I'll just use my hand. It's a bigger piece, so I'm going to use the hand thing. And then I just put it on there, and then I just massage the oil in. For this with the catalyst, I'm going to leave it on for about probably 7 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to buff it off and go from there. If you're finishing any project, in my opinion, it's good practice to start on the back. So this is the back of my table. Once I wipe it on, wait 10 minutes and wipe it off, I'm gonna flip it over. So a good tip here is I have these SM foam blocks, and then I have little pieces of wax paper. So when I flip this over, I'm gonna put it on here like that. That way, because this is a finish and it will cure, so that way if it does stick to this at all, it's gonna just peel right off, and it's not gonna cause me any issues in the future. So, like I said, I'm just gonna pour this on here, like this. It's a little full, that's fine. So I'm just gonna do this, no problems. Make sure you have lots of paper towel handy. So, here we go. All right, so let's say I wanted to spread this. I can just easily spread this around. No problem. This spreader has actually been used for resin, so it's not overly flat on the bottom anymore. Like I said, so that's an option. You can do it that way. That's what you're going to see a lot of the bigger guys doing. That being said, like I said, I like to massage my oil into the wood. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go like this, get this pad nice and saturated, and I'm just going to push it all over the top here. So when I'm finishing, I'll do it the top of the table, the bottom of the table, and then I'll wait and I'll flip it, and then I'll do the sides and the top. And the reason I do it like that is so that if I have any drips come down, they're going to be on the back of the table, so I can deal with them. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, no drips is ideal, and with a finish like this, you should have no drips because you're buffing off all of the excess. But just if you're using another finish, that's a very good tip. So Ligna is a one-coat system. If you want to add a second coat, you can. As far as protection goes, it will increase the protection a little bit, but the main thing you're going to see out of the second coat is a sheen increase. Now that sheen increase won't be huge. It'll probably just be about 20% or so, but that's just something to keep in mind. It is designed as a one-coat system. There we go. This is a maple slab with some burling in it, so it's going to look really nice, I hope, when we're all finished here. So I get it all over everywhere, best I can, and then what I do is now I'm going to really massage into the wood, and it just really ensures that you didn't miss anywhere. So I'm just going to start here, and I'm pushing, not overly hard, but I am giving it some pressure, and I'm just going to go around in circles and make sure that I didn't miss anywhere there. I guess I won't have to go to the gym today because my shoulder's fatiguing already. I'm just going to check the watch here so I know when 7 to 10 minutes is up. Maple is pretty hard, so I'll probably be closer to the 10 minutes versus the 7, just so it doesn't, because the maple's so hard it won't all soak into the wood that fast, whereas if I was doing a softer wood, it's going to soak in faster, so I probably want to get it off a little sooner so that it's easier to buff off. Awesome. So I'm just going to keep working that a little bit, and then we'll be good. So just for reference, this is a 30 by 60 table, and I just used under 30 milliliters to saturate my pad and to finish the back. So I think our 60 milliliters for the whole table is going to be awesome. This one actually does have a chamfered edge, so I am going to do that bottom edge also. So that might be a little tricky for me to get. Top. All right, so we should be good to go there, and then I will see you guys in 10 minutes. All right guys, it's been about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna buff off the excess of our finish here on the back of the table. So how I like to do it is I just take two paper towel here, take them like this, and I fold them in half, and I do this for any buff on, buff off finish, and then I'll finish with a cloth. The reason I do this is because I'm gonna get off all the extra, the majority of it, and then I'll buff with something a little softer. So I'm just gonna go back and forth here, remove all this excess finish. There we go, see it all there. Fold it now like this, get a clean side. One more time. Try to change my direction as much as I can. So now I can feel it starting to stick. So I know I got the majority of it off. There we go, throw that in our bucket there. Now, I'm gonna use a rag here. This is like an old t-shirt or something I tore up. I don't recommend using microfibers on any buff off finish. The reason for that is because they leave little bits behind, and I find that it's just a lot easier to use a rag. So now I'm just gonna buff this off, nice. And now I'm gonna come around and do little circles. So, the way I like to check to know if I got enough of it off, just drag my finger like that. And if I can see a line, I know that I have to continue buffing, because the oil will leave a line. I cannot see a line there, so I know I'm good. So I might just fold this guy one more time and give it one last quick, bigger circle buff here, just to be sure. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this bad boy over on those foam SM blocks and the wax paper like I told you about. And then we're gonna finish the sides and the top in the exact same way. And then I will show you guys what that looks like, and then we'll go from there. Awesome. So I just like to pull it my way a little bit. I pop these under on each side. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I have towels under everything, so I'm not worried about anything get damaged. I'm going to push it up like this, and I'm going to set all my wax paper underneath. And then what I do is I just walk it over like this. Maple is extremely heavy. And then I'm just going to slowly lower it down. And there we go. So now I can finish the top and I can leave it here overnight to cure. When you get to the new side, good practice is to always make sure it's clean again, even though if you've already cleaned it. just gotta make sure that's completely dust free. I will use a microfiber for this. So wipe off any dust. Make sure you keep turning your microfiber for a clean part so that it really grabs that dust. And there we go. Now I'm ready to finish this side. This is the only thing I'm finishing in Ligna oil today, and I have the rest of this container. So I'll probably just pour the rest of it on and really saturate it so I can get the best finish possible with it. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go like this. Now, you can definitely stretch this a lot further than I did today. But like I said, I just made 60 milliliters and I don't have anything else to finish with the Ligna oil today. So I'm just gonna use it all. Same thing. Massage it all around. If you're interested in any Ligna oil or any other woodworking supplies, you can check out our website. We sell lots of stuff. So that's always an option. So I got too much finish on here. Definitely, you do not need nearly as much. So it's really easy to spread, but the time that I save in spreading, I'm gonna probably just use in taking it off. So for a 30 by 60 table, if you're just doing one, you probably need closer to 45 milliliters. Okay, I'm gonna do my edges. Now, with a lot of the other finishes on the market, they're so expensive where you'd be cringing if you're used to using them watching this video because of how much I have on the surface. That's the beauty of actually Ligna oil. It's a very fairly priced. I believe this duo here at the time of this video, this retails for 80 bucks for a liter. So something to keep in mind. It's about a third the price of the competition. And it is a very good product. So. Okay, there we go. So, like last time, we're gonna wait 10 minutes. Probably only 7 now because it's been on for a while. And then I'll strip it off. All right, it's been about 10 minutes for the top. So same thing, I'm gonna wipe it, the majority of it with a paper towel. And then I'm gonna buff it nice and pretty with the rag there. So I did over apply this on this side, like I said, because I just wanted to use the finish because I had it made. And it did suck up a lot of it, so I'm not too upset about it, but just something to keep in mind. You do not need to, what we applied on the back was the perfect amount. So with a wipe on, wipe off finish, you don't have to be too worried about drip marks in the back because it's usually you're not applying nearly enough and you're wiping it off. And like when I just did that, I just grabbed my fingers like this so I can get under the edge as well. But keep in mind if you're using like a polyurethane or something like that, drip marks are something that you should be very, very aware of because they can happen very easily. Now, I'm pretty happy there, so I'll probably go ahead and use this rag here. Now, I've made the mistake before where I've pushed too hard and I actually gave myself lines So you want to buff and be firm, but by no means do you want to push hard enough to make any marks. It will come up, it just takes a little longer by just taking your time in nice, small, firm circles. And then same thing, once we think we're happy here, we'll be doing our finger drag. We'll be going from there. Beauty of finishes like this is since you're buffing them off, you can finish the whole table in about an hour versus waiting for it to fully cure, scuffing it, giving it another coat maybe, and then flipping it over the next day and doing the exact same thing. So. There we go, that's looking really good. Oh, I can still etch that made a line there. So, I'm just gonna flip to a new fresh part and another buff around. Awesome, there we go. So, that's good. Table's looking good. I'll show you guys some videos and a couple photos of it. But that's how you use the Ligna oil. Like I said, make sure all the rags you use and stuff go into a non-flammable container. And then just for reference, we used a total of 60 milliliters, which was too much for this full 30x60 table. And it's $80 at this time of this video for a liter. So pretty good bang for your buck. And it's a great product. Awesome, thanks for watching, guys.
How it's supposed to feel.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, committing